Candidate for governor Tom Barrett was in Ashland Thursday, campaigning to become the Democratic candidate to face Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker in June's recall election. Barrett placed the blame for issues like the controversy over collective bargaining and the failed mining bill squarely on Walker's doorstep.
He was getting ready to launch a civil war. And he had people to the executive residence. He had his cabinet members to the executive residence. And these are his words, not my words, his words, where he told them he was getting ready to drop the bomb. That was the phrase that he used, the military phrase, drop the bomb. Well, think about that phrase for a minute, because it really captures what's happened in the state for the last 15 months. Because when you drop a bomb, one of two things happen. Either you obliterate the village and everyone is killed, or if you're not successful in killing everyone, what you have is you have survivors who fight like they have never fought before. And that's exactly what has happened here in the state of Wisconsin. The survivors have fought like they have never fought before. And we saw it in Madison with the people coming down, tens of thousands of people throughout the state. We saw it with the people standing in the cold getting the signatures for the recall. It was you. It was the citizens of this state. It wasn't the politicians. It was the citizens of this state who said, this is not our Wisconsin, and we want our Wisconsin back. So let me tell you why and at what points I thought he made unbelievable decisions that really changed the course of history of this state. The first, of course, was the decision to introduce that bill to strip 50 years of collective bargaining for public employees. I went toe-to-toe with him time and time again in 2010, and never once did he mention he was going to go after labor law here in the state of Wisconsin. Never once. Because had he done so, I think we would have seen rooms filled like this in 2010 instead of 2012. But after he got in there, of course, the secret meetings, he dropped the bomb. And that has changed the course of politics here in the state of Wisconsin, and is going to change it for hopefully not a much longer period. So he decided he was going to do that. But I did hear him say something during the course of that campaign, and that is he said over and over and over again that he was going to create 250,000 jobs. 250,000 private sector jobs. Well, if you take a look at what happened, because he wanted to launch this ideological civil war, he took his eye off what people in the state were concerned about, which were jobs. And instead, he spent that whole year fighting that war that he started. And there can be no confusion. Scott Walker started the Civil War in the state of Wisconsin. I am here to end the Civil War. That's why I want to end the Civil War in Wisconsin. The mining bill died because there was no leadership. There was no leadership coming out of the governor's office. And to let you know just how this resonates throughout the entire state, I was sitting in my office in City Hall in Milwaukee the day the mining bill died. And one of my aides came in about 9:30, and he said, Conservative Talk Radio is ripping you this morning. Well, they rip me all the time. And so I said, well, what are they ripping me for today? And they said, the mining bill. And I said, the mining bill? What are they ripping me about the mining bill for? I was shocked that they were, because there's a lot of things you can rip me about. And they said, well, they said that you should have gotten it passed through. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. So that day I had a lunch, I was with politics lunch, and of course the first question was why I didn't get the mining bill passed. And I'm thinking, oh, stop the music here, stop the music. I said, I will tell you what a good executive does. A good executive who wanted to get that issue resolved. And it's a contentious issue. You may be on the side of the environmentalists, you might be on the side of local government that would be affected because of the infrastructure costs, you may be on the side of the tribes, you might be on the side of the company. But a good executive would do what Bob Jauch and Dale Schultz tried to do on a bipartisan basis. You'd bring everybody in the room, you'd take off your coat, you'd roll up your sleeves, and you would get something done. But he did not do that. And the reason he didn't do that is because he was out in other states raising money for his recall and giving the gospel according to Scott Walker.
For the Daily Press, I'm Rick Olivo.